The Handmaid's Tale comes back, and it will be interesting to see if the authors choose to offer Serena a true redemption story this year, or if there will be irony and a hint of bittersweetness at her inevitable retribution. As the antagonist, Serena and June are traveling west on their train at the beginning of The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 1. Both of them are currently in a similar situation, fleeing Gilead and the approaching disaster that appears to be about to snare them both. Serena and June seem to be in agreement following Luke's sacrifice from the previous season. Although they won't be great friends anytime soon, Serena is impressed by June's strong will. Serena is certain that they can go past their fear, regret, and the 1,000 miles that separate Gilead and Toronto. June, however, is somewhat more grounded because she has experienced this situation once or twice, and it has always resulted in unhappiness. She is ran over and her arm is killed, yet she is still able to fall asleep and receive some rest. It comes out that Serena was the reason Nicole was gone when she woke up because she wanted to allow June some rest. She dismisses it and jokes about robbing June of her child, which goes down as well as you can think. However, considering that they stopped in Winnipeg almost 6 hours ago and that there are many more refugees on board, the train is undoubtedly filling up. Regretfully, June is not feeling well, so Serena intervenes and brings a doctor back to examine her. The doctor tries his best to treat her, but it turns out that her arm is infected, which explains the hot flushes. After a while, June is able to talk to Moira and finds out that Luke has been taken into custody. We were aware of that anyhow, but Hannah's continued imprisonment in Gilead cannot be altered by whatever Serena says. To exacerbate the situation, it seems that this train is not actually headed for Vancouver. They won't let anyone else in since they're so full. Where are they heading then? They don't know, actually. However, we are aware that relationships in Toronto are deteriorating. Mark believes they have about a year left until everything is gone, so he tells Moira as much. This is mostly due to the cabinet's desire to begin normalizing ties with Gilead. In doing so, the United States would be de-recognized. Even though Mayday is underground and committed to trying to overthrow this empire and stop that from happening, it would seem pointless to fight back at this time. Moira will assist, as we will soon see. Serena makes a commitment to support June during all of this, promising to restore their family's unity following the ordeal they endured. Many of the women in these carriages, however, are not pleased by her frequent allusions to God's grace and design. However, the previous good doctor has done his research and has discovered that Serena is from Gilead. She is dangerous, he says, and he thinks she is running away on false pretenses. An officer is actually on his way to take her into custody. However, it turns out that this physician was once employed by Gilead as a fertility officer. June finds herself in a challenging situation when he calls out Serena's name loud enough for the other women to hear. Then an officer arrives, who was presumably just ruminating on another carriage. Desperate for vengeance, he leaves her in this wagon with all the other ladies after verifying that her documents are authentic. He does it on purpose since he is aware of Serena's identity and the potential for violence. In an attempt to rescue herself, Serena applies the emergency brake, and she persuades her to escape the train. Since Serena can no longer be apprehended and June reaches her target in Alaska, June is referred to as a traitor. Nick and Rosie arrive at Nick's new home in New Bethlehem, where he speaks with Commander Wharton, his new father-in-law. All of this serves as a very sharp reminder that he is not free, but he is also reminded that he must put his childish pursuits, June, aside and settle into his new existence gradually. Speaking about a new life, June and Nicole are taken aback upon being reunited with June's mother, who also happens to be employed here as a doctor.